He doesn't understand why I'm moving the light and my tripod's around, and it's just weird. I'm just being really weird and he doesn't get it. Yeah. Okay. We're good. Well, today I've watched a ton of videos on how to make better videos, and I am doing so many things wrong right now. It's dark outside, my lighting is not very good, I am centered pretty well, my background is horrible, so I use the mirror as a little bit of a, I don't know, just add some texture. Oh, that's better. Taz is being very, very weird about this, and he's not usually in the same room as I am when I'm making a video, so anyways, dog interruptions. Getting started with movement, in particular I'm talking about yoga. If you don't know what you're getting into, it can be really difficult knowing where to start, and the thing is that you really don't know where to start. I've been practicing yoga for about 4 years now, and I have learned some ways that will make it simpler to start and break it down in a way that can make more sense. The first thing that you need to learn is just the basic postures to really get a foundation that'll enable you to get into the yoga flows a lot easier. There are many videos on YouTube that walk you through the steps on the basic postures. You'll see them labeled as like beginner yoga. Definitely start with those and just get a feel for it, get a feel for the different poses and how to engage which muscles and using proper form. There are so many yoga channels out there, and I've tried a few, not many. I have not done vast experimenting between the different channels. The one I've started with and that I've come back around to is Yoga with Tim. I find Tim is the easiest yoga instructor to follow. He keeps it really simple. I find that his approach makes me feel good about myself if I can't get into a more advanced pose. He gives you a lot of options for alternative poses you can take depending on your level and depending on how far you are ready to push yourself. The other thing that I love about Yoga with Tim is he has no extra flourish. There is no flourishing or quick transitions that are hard to follow, especially as a beginner. Even now, I would consider myself intermediate, and I still struggle with following some yoga practitioners that transition very quickly from one pose to the next and spend very little time in that pose. And so when that happens for me, I find that I don't enjoy the pose as much. I don't get as much feeling in the pose and feeling my muscles engage in it as long as I would like to. And that again is something that I like about Tim's channel. Boho Beautiful is a good channel as well. I really enjoy their content. However, if you are just starting out, it's very difficult to follow the flowy, girly flourishes that they do in Boho Beautiful and various other yoga channels. Basic yoga poses to get into to practice. The basic yoga poses to learn are typically like downward and upward dog, there's child's pose, there's happy baby. There's a lot of basic poses like that that can be strung together into a yoga flow. Learning these individually as well as taking beginner yoga classes are a really good way to go about it. In-person classes are really great too because you can talk with someone one-on-one. Most of mine is self-taught. I've only been to like 2 or 3 in-person classes. As a beginner yogi, I would definitely suggest getting clothes that you're comfortable in, that you're comfortable wearing and sweating in. I really like tank tops and sports bras. I wear leggings that fit well over the hips and that don't slide too much on the crotch. And you can get yourself like a yoga mat. I got mine from Amazon. I went for natural tree rubber because I didn't want to deal with any plastic. Get yourself a set of yoga blocks as well. They come in sets of 2. They're usually made of a hard foam, although you can get cork, which is on my list to get. I've still not gotten myself yoga blocks, but they are very helpful for some poses that require you to reach all the way to the ground from a standing position, and depending on your body proportions, it might be better for you to use a block for some extra assistance or to guide you in a pose that might be a little bit advanced. There are many different types of yoga. There are balancing poses that you hold for 1 minute, half a minute. There is yoga that moves quicker, like cardio yoga, where you're kind of going from one thing to the next thing a lot more. These are usually called yoga workouts, and there are different forms of those workouts. And then there is yin yoga. Yin yoga is basically a cooling yoga that kind of cools you off. It's like long, deep stretches. You can do most of yin yoga sitting or lying down. The poses don't typically require a lot of standing and holding. Take some time to watch videos on breath work as well in the yoga practice. Learning how to breathe through the poses as you do them helps you get into them more effectively. Helps you go deeper into the muscle control. It helps you get deeper into the stretches, and you're able to hold standing poses and more difficult poses easier. It's also foundational for energy flow through the body. Energy flow in yoga is real. First time I ever did an in-person yoga class, I got yoga stoned. I felt like I was high on weed, like literally. You get right into it and you start to forget about anything else going on, and you get so much into it that's all you're paying attention to, and you can enter flow state. And that's when you can start noticing like the energy actually flowing through your body as you flow it through the different motions. Pick something, get started, do it as often as you can, daily if you can, as much as your schedule allows. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This has been really hard to shoot because I have a cold and I keep coughing. Be sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.